President Trump's Department of Justice let the veil slip in a new court filing today. The filing had to do with the case against James Comey. You know, the one where the DOJ accused him of threatening Trump's life with this Instagram post of seashells arranged to create 8647 that he says he saw on a beach. The DOJ says no senior leader ordered the department to bring those charges. That includes Attorney General Todd Blanche, who was the acting AG at the time. So no pressure campaign. Got it. But something else the DOJ said is raising eyebrows. In that same filing, the DOJ argues that even if Trump did pressure prosecutors, quote, the chief executive directing his subordinates to exercise core executive functions is a feature, not a bug, of our constitutional system. And that's news to me, because when I was at DOJ, impartiality was hammered into us day after day after day. In fact, it is the first thing listed in the DOJ's mission and functions manual, which you can see online, which says, quote, independence and impartiality. The Justice Department works each day to earn the public's trust by following the facts and the law wherever they may lead without, say it with me, prejudice or improper influence. I want to bring in another DOJ alum, Kristen Clarke, who led the Civil Rights Division under President Biden. Kristen, thank you for being here. I mean, you saw that. The DOJ claims that Blanche did not know about the Comey indictment until the day before it was presented to a grand jury. Do you buy that?
I don't, right. And the Senate has now confirmed Todd Blanche, but we knew from the start that he was not qualified for this role, that he would lead the Justice Department as if it were President Trump's personal law firm. And now they're saying the quiet part out loud. The Justice Department stands apart from any other agency inside the federal government. Todd Blanche is the one person who's not a secretary. He is the Attorney General. Mm-hmm. The Justice Department is led by attorneys who are not faithful to the president. They are faithful to the Constitution. And just as you noted, everything that you learn as a Justice Department attorney, as a Justice Department leader, is about being impartial, about following the facts and the law, about being beholden to no one, being faithful to using this role to stand up for the public interest, right? You stand up in court on behalf of the United States, not the president who runs the White House.
Trust is where I hear, and trust is where I constantly think about, that can be lost if people do not believe there is not independence, or that there is someone putting their thumb on the scale somewhere. And that impression creates a domino effect everywhere across the country. And I want to talk about what's been happening with the death of Nolan Wells and the tragedy that today would have been his 19th birthday. Instead of calling her son and telling him she loves him and wishing him a happy birthday, they had a poignant vigil for him tonight. They still don't know what happened to their son, and the DA says that they are still reviewing evidence before presenting this to a grand jury. This is a very slow pace. How does that impact the trust in the process?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is that there is a lot of distrust in government right now. There is a lot of distrust in the work of prosecutors, especially in a place like Mississippi, mm-hmm. which has a particular history when it comes to Black lives. The NAACP has stepped up and has joined the legal team in this case. We are standing firmly behind Nolan Wells' parents, who are still grieving. Today they deserve to have their son home with them to celebrate his 19th birthday. We're committed to bringing the full resources of the NAACP.
Including asking for a federal investigation? Would that be part of what you'd seek?
Well, right now, all eyes are on the local prosecutors, waiting for them to complete their job. But this is a case of national importance, and it certainly would have been appropriate for the federal government to step in and offer their resources and expertise to ensure that local investigation is moving expeditiously.
Would you trust this DOJ federal resources to do that?
You know, the Justice Department is, at the end of the day, a taxpayer-funded agency, and I think that it is incumbent upon all of us to demand and ask that they do their job and protect protect the public. So while there is lots to be concerned about with this Justice Department, I believe it's important that we still push and press them to do their job to protect the public.
I want to turn to another development in the case that people really have to know about. This is a gentleman from Iowa. There's the high school tracks athlete. He was moved for stabbing another an altercation at a track meet in Texas. The original judge was replaced with a new judge after the defense slammed how the first judge handled the case, along with comments like these after the trial.
The jury did it right. Yeah, they did. You know why? Because they were picked based upon the law. They listened to the facts. They happened here in this very courtroom, and they got a verdict. And so that's the process. And whatever they say, they get it right.
Obviously, they are appealing. The MPT is appealing. Are remarks by a judge appropriate in a case like this, particularly when the appeal is pending?
As a former federal prosecutor, and you know well, this is very unusual for a judge to take to the airwaves and conduct that was an 18-minute interview where he clearly expressed his biased view about the outcome in this case. It's just not something that we see very often. We know well that Anthony Stevens has been coming for a trial. We know well that there were missteps that happened today, and for the judge to take to the airwaves, I think was incredibly inappropriate. The fact that he's been accused of the case was the right call. This is the kind of action that could lead to ethics charges against that judge. So all eyes are, I think, watching to see what unfolds tomorrow.
The words you said, trust, hanging in the air over all cases like this. Kristen Clark, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
We didn't ask him any questions about Tupac. He offered that on his own. We were shook. We were surprised.
Dramatic testimony from the former LAPD detective who says Keefe D told him he was involved in Tupac's murder. We'll unpack it next. I'm glad. The Tupac murder trial is going to come down to this. Which Keefe D does the jury believe? The one who told investigators in 1998 he didn't know who killed Tupac? Or the one who told law enforcement a decade later his own people were behind it? Well, today, the jury heard both stories. First, a former FBI special agent testified that in 1998, Keefe D claimed Compton police officers allegedly working for Suge Knight were responsible. And, quote, when asked what the motive would be for this, Davis responded that he had heard that Shakur was talking about leaving Death Row Records. But then came a former LAPD detective involved in Keefe D's 2008 proffer agreement. This time, the detective said Keefe D described his own crew carrying out the shooting.
Mr. Davis had the gun at first, but they came up on the passenger side of Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur's vehicle, so he couldn't shoot across the driver. So he handed the gun to Dre in the back seat, Andre Smith. He was afraid to shoot. Mr. Anderson grabbed the gun and shot across Mr. Smith into Mr. Knight's car that Mr. Tupac Shakur was in with Mr. Knight.
Earlier, I spoke with Gene Deal, the former bodyguard of Sean Diddy Combs, and he's not buying what prosecutors are saying. Are we ever going to learn the full truth here, given that people would rather not speak about this?
Well, I believe that the full truth holds with FBI investigators. The full truth holds with documents and certain things that has been sealed, and that the full truth holds with people who was actually there, and that only individual who was actually there that's here is Suge Knight.
What about Keefe D?
Well, if you know the Keefe D story, can you really believe anything that has
about Diddy? You think he would take the stand and speak?
Do I think he would? I don't think he would. I don't think that the burden of proof is on the prosecution. And right now, they are trying to fabricate some of the things about the East Coast and the West Coast and call it a war like that, when I would see some of these guys still hanging out and chilling with each other. You know what I'm saying? But to the tabloids and to individuals in the law enforcement community, they say it was an East Coast, West Coast war. I heard an individual get on the stand just the other day, Mob James. Mob James said that Tupac inherited the East Coast, West Coast war between Suge Knight and Puffy. No, Tupac and Puff hated each other way before that.
Coverage of the trial continues tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern on CNN Access. All access is available as well on Amazon Prime. And you can follow me on social media. You'll never miss any of the things. That's it for me tonight. The story is Alex Michelson.
I'm Alex Michelson, live in Los Angeles. Coming up, the story is a royal return. Prince Harry and Meghan are reportedly preparing to leave California and move back to the UK. 6 years after dramatically stepping away from royal life. We've got details from London. The story is Mushroom Murder. One of Australia's most notorious murder cases is back in court. Aaron Patterson wants a court to throw out the convictions that sent her to prison for life.